couldn't even eat a raw carrot or a raw celery stick because my body was so toxic. Pretty much my whole life I was on a standard American diet. People don't actually believe me when I say, really eating donuts and cookies and chips for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I grew up with a lot of congestion in my head, to the point where I couldn't even remember like what I was doing in the morning or yesterday, and a lot of acid buildup in my head, a lot of chronic nosebleeds. I was diagnosed with IBS. Part of the mucusless diet is you break down the different body types, and most people would look at me and be like, oh, you're so healthy and you're thin and you're fit, but man, inside I just felt terrible. You couldn't really tell all the time from the outside. I never really made the connection with that and what I was eating. Never ate any fruits or vegetables or anything like that. That box of donuts, like that's what I would get like on the way to school. That would literally be my breakfast. I was just basically suffering for decades. It was kind of around my late teens, around the age 18, 19, where I was like, yeah, I really gotta, figure this out and, start getting my health together. It was completely by chance that I came across. First, it was the Detox Miracle Source book by Robert Moore. My grandmother was dealing with some cancer. Somebody I knew at the time actually gave her the Detox Miracle Source book and a couple other books, but then kind of got into raw veganism, fruitarianism, was taking a lot of the Dr. Morse courses, and I kid you not, I literally started eating a couple fruits and vegetables and I went through a full-blown healing crisis. I grew up and I couldn't even eat like a raw carrot or a raw celery stick because my body was so toxic. Once I just started incorporating raw fruits and vegetables, I wasn't going on these crazy fasts or anything. I'd have a couple smoothies and it was like boom, full-blown healing crisis. My teeth were loosening up, everything was going crazy, and obviously I wasn't transitioning very well. I didn't have the mucusless diet at the time. I progressed from there, and it was kind of like yo-yo dieting between raw veganism and falling back into old vegan junk food, like a vegan junk food diet. And then I pretty much, with pushing the detox, like I started going into these really aggressive fasts, started hitting like the herbs harder. I started going on more aggressive fasts, fruit diets. Probably did that for about 2 or 3 years. And then the entire time, all through this time, I felt deeply like something's really wrong here. I'm still not at what I'm supposed to find. I'm still not at the truth yet. Lo and behold, I actually read the Mucusless Diet Healing System somewhere in that period. As a lot of people explain, in through one ear and out through the other. Basically just went over my head, and I didn't understand a lot of the principles in it. When I kept going with that, you can call it fanatical fasting. When my body started really falling apart, I was like, okay, something's really wrong now. I came back to the mucusless diet. I think I actually found your channel, Spira, and I started watching your videos. And then I was like, okay, this is really the missing piece here. I really need to be checking this out a little bit more. And it was 2021, January 1st, 2021 is when I like really started studying and applying the information in the Mucusless Diet Healing System. I had to basically transition myself down out of the raw veganism and all that radical stuff I was doing. I came down pretty hard, but throughout that year, I went to Arid Day and I plugged in with you, got some coaching. I got so deeply interested in why people can't see this for what it is. And then another thing is with what we're talking about tonight, why aren't people successful all the time with this? And what are the barriers and limitations to people seeing this for what it is, understanding what state their body's in? Because I think that's a big missing piece, a missing link of why people really fall off the wagon. They start messing around with things and they don't know what's going on with their body, and they don't know how to control that cleansing process.